Have you ever made love to a man? Do you want to?
Now pick up the soap.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it is just a fact and it is totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/NeckbeardStories. It actually comes from my personal subreddit r/ReddX but don't mind that none too much. We got our good friend Roaming Rivers returning to the stage, and he has a story about a neckbeard that I'm sure we'll all love to hate just based on the title alone. He really does dig up some specimens, and while we've seen beards get assaulted through the last few days, I think this is the beard that I want to see get assaulted more than any other that we've seen recently. So I'll just keep my fingers crossed that that happens at the end of it all, that he doesn't just slink off into the shadows and disappear forever. It has been known to happen once or twice, but karma always ends up catching up with these beards, you know? Casino Beard, we heard recently that he ended up in jail for the actions that he took against the OP, and I'm exceedingly grateful for that. So whether we actually get to see the karma or not, I know that justice will be delivered eventually, although I would really like to see it with my own eyes. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Neckbeard Stories cringe. Racist, homophobic, neckbeard causing workplace drama. And I had to spread those words out a little bit so YouTube doesn't think it is what it is, I guess. Because I'm still not sure we're into the 2-minute mark. But yeah, that should work out just fine. Hello, ReddX. Hi, Roaming Rivers. Welcome back. It's been a while. I wish you and my fellow subscribers around the world a happy holidays and a happy new year. Yeah, we gonna see how it goes. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Is what I usually say before it all falls apart. No, it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to 2022. And of course, I hope you are as well, my friend. I took some time off from the writing to focus on my college thesis, having finally made my presentation and having done the graduation ceremony itself a few weeks ago. As of now, I am officially a 4-year college graduate. From Park Bench to Park Avenue. Oh boy, what are you doing in college, man? You gonna be like one of those big wig financiers? I'm gonna come to you when I need a loan, just to let you know. No, seriously though, congratulations on that. Big accomplishment. College was never for me, but I respect people who can put their nose to the grindstone enough to get through it. But now, I am back to entertain you and my fellow subscribers with another tale of the various beards that I have encountered in the wild. Yeah, you seem to have quite a collection there, and I definitely do enjoy cataloging all of these specimens. Some are definitely a lot worse than others, but it's good that we see the whole spectrum, you know? It's good we know where to place these beards, because they really do run the gamut. This one seems more despicable than most, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. So this one is a rather curious, as well as outright confusing specimen of a beard that I will call Bizzarobeard. BB for short. Oh, he's from Bizarro World? He like got all the opposite traits of a beard? That could be interesting. I had to deal with this guy while working in a hotel kitchen while also living at the sober house that was the location for the booger beard tale all those years ago. Yeah, Roaming Rivers has like a whole metaverse going on. He's got the booger beard, tale of 3 beards. I think Handsy beard was his as well. Definitely become somewhat of an installation, and I love it. I definitely enjoy digging into these tales. So I call him Bizzarobeard because this behavior didn't seem to have a coherent reason behind it, like, at all. Like his brain activity was just pure chaos, comparable to that of a rabid animal that just refuses to die. with the various workers in his brain trying to make things work in a coherent manner as everything flooded around them up to their waists with raw sewage. Yeah, he's playing chaotic, stupid IRL. How does that work, man? How did you make it this far in life? Darwinism has failed, I'm sorry to say. This short, one-shot tale is more a description of Bizzarobeard and how his beardy traits were a source of much drama in that workplace, as well as making OP feel unsafe to go to work. Ooh, that's a big one. So he's not like the fun kind of crazy. He's like the legitimately dangerous kind of crazy. While I will say that this may seem completely outlandish at times, I am in fact doing my best to stick only to the facts. These are things that I witnessed myself in that hotel kitchen for the month that I worked there alongside this particularly anomalous beard. Now, was a month like all you had to do, or was it this dude that literally chased you out of the kitchen? Because I don't think I'd trust this guy around knives and sharp pointy things or hot objects that are in the kitchen. No. I don't think I could deal with it. So, as usual, names, locations, and so forth have been kept vague in order to protect all parties involved. Yeah, we ain't trying to start a witch hunt around here. No matter how weird or crazy this guy is, karma is gonna come after him eventually if he really deserves it. Trigger warning, of course. We got some racism, drug references, workplace sexual harassment, prison culture, PTSD, and a highly confused beard on top of all that. High risk of cringe overdose. I don't know, man. My tolerance is pretty high, but you could try me out. Although, if one of my viewers finds the story to be a little too much, of course, there is no shame in ducking out of the story at your own leisure. And now, we've got our cast before we jump into the story. OP, been sober nearly a year. A broken young man that is kept heavily sedated by a cocktail of anti-crazy medications. Trying to keep out of trouble with the law and still trying to find his own way in the world after losing everything. From being exiled from his hometown, losing all his friends, and even his own sense of identity, this was indeed one of the lowest points for OP. Working as a dishwasher at the time of this encounter, putting my best foot forward at work, even at the cost of what little sanity I had left at times. Sometimes it does help to strip everything back and start completely fresh, but it's never fun to start completely fresh. I definitely do understand it. Quit my job, lived in a car, had to build everything back up. But in the end, it was all for the best. Just like it was all for the best for you, OP. Graduating from college and all that. Look at this boy. Doing big things, I tell you that. We also got Jax and Bob, co-workers at the hotel who were also dishwashers. Some chill, laid-back country boys who have been in and out of institutions for most of their lives. With Jax having spent 7 years in a particularly infamous state prison on the American West Coast. Yeah, there's quite a few of those, aren't there? Each of them had the homemade-looking prison tats to prove that they had indeed done hard time. Spiderwebs, dices, demon faces, etc., as well as various scars, mentally and physically. Two great guys who were always trying to keep their noses clean, trying to keep out of prison, as well as being very hard workers. Both of them were on their own individual quests to build a better life for their families. Yeah, if you get it all turned around, I mean, you did your time. That's fine. Let it drop, you know? If you did your time and you jump back into the same old stuff, then that's when I have zero sympathy for you, honestly. So yeah, Jax and Silent Bob, they're good boys. They just like to smoke dope.
Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers.
No, I don't actually think they smoke the devil's lettuce. That's just me trying to be funny and failing miserably. We've also got Paul, who is another coworker that is briefly mentioned. I didn't know him that well, to be honest, as we worked in different departments, other than the fact that he was a gentle giant who could have passed for a cousin of the late Michael Clark Duncan. Oh man, I had almost forgotten about Michael Clark Duncan. Rest in peace, my huge brother. And then, of course, we've got Bizzarobeard, BB, a pasty, average-built white dude who liked to constantly talk about how he just finished the 5-year bid for armed robbery. Yeah, that's something you want to brag about for sure. You are never going to integrate back into polite society, sir. That's obvious. He was covered head to toe in tattoos, as well as various piercings, and he was also employed as a dishwasher at this hotel. I won't give much more details here, as most of his drama-inducing madness is based around his various traits. Ooh, the plot will thicken a bit later, I suppose. None is probably the one decent staff member in Sober House that helped me get through dealing with Bizzarobeard. Not an actual nun, she just had a good enough heart to be a saint. Shrink is the therapist that was assigned to my case, employed by Sober House and a great person who I am eternally grateful for. Probably one of the only decent therapists in that program. Well, it seems like you rolled high on your luck stat if you got her. So yes, between Sober House and working as a dishwasher, it doesn't seem like a fun part of OP's life, but I appreciate you opening up and sharing it with all of us. I personally hope that Bizzarobeard isn't too nasty, but again, from the title, yeah, he seems pretty nasty indeed. So, with all the cast out of the way, we are on to the tale. By this time, I'd been in Sober House long enough to begin seeking out employment in the area, as per part of my program's treatment plan. My first real paying job in that area was at a hotel in a nearby town. While I will admit I did struggle with the work hours, and being doped up on all sorts of medications probably affected my ability to function, but the boss there was fair with me, and he gave me a chance to work for the 2 months that I worked there. Coincidentally, in the spirit of this holiday season, this tale actually takes place around the holiday season, the Thanksgiving and the Christmas that I spent in Sober House. Oh, at least it was only one Thanksgiving and Christmas. Was it even good? Did they bring you like a cup of gravy and some dry turkey on a tray like they do in jail? I know that's one of the things that my brother complains about the most. He's like, yeah, every holiday here basically sucks. It's not a holiday at all. You get turkey. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't even imagine it, dude. I don't want to imagine it. And I mean, Sober House is better than prison, but probably not by much, honestly. This is where Bizzarobeard comes into the picture. And like most of my other stories, the incidents don't really follow a linear timeline. They're just listed out properly to the best of my abilities to recall them in an organized fashion through the absolute haze that covered my brain in those days. So this post might be a bit more disorganized than my previous posts. That's alright, we'll sort it out together. You and me, buddy! And I do like these point-by-point stories as well, because they give me a very clear reason where to stop reading and give some thoughts. So, beard appearances. Well, Bizzarobeard had a shaved head with a wispy goatee, like he was trying to emulate Edward Norton's character from American History X. He was covered from head to toe in expensive-looking tattoos on his hands and scalp and face, full sleeves. He even had the word Crips tattooed on the side of his neck. He spoke solely in Ebonics, wore Timberland boots, in addition to the company-issued blue slacks and the gray work shirt. He also seemed to have a new tattoo like every single week at times. And then he would complain about how he can't get a better job than just clean it up after rich ass, various nasty words for other ethnic groups. The way that he dressed and acted, as well as having tattoos everywhere, did not even seem to enter his mind as being part of the reason that he couldn't get a better job. I don't say this to be a judgmental jerk, as people are free to do what they please when it comes to their own appearance. Though there does come a point where dress for the job you want has its merits. I don't know, man. I would have told him right to his face, like, how do you expect that if you're covered in tattoos? And then, I don't know, maybe you're opening Pandora's box at that point. That's a conversation that maybe I wouldn't want to have after getting a good look at the dude, but this is also the reason that I haven't covered my face or knuckles in tattoo. If I thought that YouTube was gonna last forever, I would look like a SoundCloud rapper, alright? But I'm just not sure, so I gotta keep my options open, and part of doing that is not getting any stupid face tattoos. I'm also a little bit curious as to the race of this fellow. Like, okay, he's got the American History X comparison, but also he's got a Crips tattoo. So I really don't know. I don't think they let white people into the Crips. Unless they're like really extra double plus down. But as far as I'm aware, in my limited experience, it doesn't generally happen. Also, speaking of American History X, have you guys ever ridden that American History X theme park ride at Universal Studios? They got like this really realistic part where you bite the curb and then the ride ends. It's a joke. We were playing Quiplash in the Discord last night, and that came up and smashed it. So the opportunity presented itself. I had to bring up the theme park ride here. Anyways, point number 2 is some beard racism. Bizzarobeard was a huge fan of the hippity hop, often playing it on his headphones as he worked. I will admit, looking back, he had some good taste in music. Contrary to this, he was extremely racist, particularly towards African Americans. Yeah, because he's jealous. He wants to be black so bad, dude. Oh my god. This is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Oh no. Peter, quick, change pigments.
He would regularly brag about how he would stab up a nasty word that starts with N on the yard every day. And how he didn't take any crap from any more nasty words. Insert whatever nasty words you want here, because he probably said them. However, when the one African-American coworker we did have came around, a big chill guy from the American South that I'll call Paul, Bizzarobeard would just slink off into the back of the kitchen. Or out of the kitchen area entirely, avoiding Paul like a scared little rabbit. Yeah, you got a lot of bark, but no bite at all. Given how Paul had the height, muscle mass, and even accent to pass for the cousin of the late Michael Clark Duncan, a comparison that he appreciated when I did bring it up out of the blue one day when I was sleep deprived, I'm pretty sure that Bizzarobeard feared that his choices of words would not be at all tolerated around a gentle giant like Paul. Yeah, he's gentle for now, but there are certain words that'll make him pick you up by the neck and shake you like a rabbit. A scared little rabbit. It's so dumb, man. Like, how hard is it to be legitimate in who you are, to be comfortable in your own skin? And this guy is so clearly not. And part of that makes me sad, but the other part is like, yeah, what an idiot. You haven't even tried being in your own skin long enough to get comfortable in it. Instead, he wants to run around in front and act like a tough guy and then run and hide in the back when he sees an actual black person. Oh, that is just beautiful. Point number 3, Jax and Bob. Now these guys barely tolerated Bizzarobeard's behavior, calling him out on trying to sneak off from work, as well as sternly telling him to knock it off when Bizzarobeard was bragging about his prison rep. Looking back on it, I get the impression that Bizzarobeard was maybe a little bit scared of Jax and Bob, as he would tone back his lewder behavior in their presence, as well as try and joke off his behavior when they called him out on it. He's just pathetic, bro. I don't know how big he actually is on the outside, but on the inside, he is minuscule. He's a Lilliputian. This is so sad, man. And telling him to knock off the bragging about the prison rep also reminds me of like when a roommate of mine and one of his friends were arguing about which of their home cities had more murders per capita. They're like, oh, Google it. You're sitting at the computer. And I'm like, It's just some ignorant shit, dude. Like, I don't understand why you take that as a point of pride. This is what's wrong with the entire country. Don't you understand? And it shut both of them up really, really quick. You just gotta call it like you see it. Like I said, be true to yourself. Just legitimate as you can be. And everything's gonna work out fine. And Jackson Bob, they seem like legitimate guys. Bizzarobeard, oh, he is fronting as much as he can. Point number 4, beard domestic issues. This is gonna make me sad, isn't it? Apparently, Bizzarobeard had a child. Yep, it's gonna make me sad. He reproduced, really? With a now ex-girlfriend before being sent off to prison. A little girl who was about 6, judging by the photos that he would share with the rest of the kitchen staff. He really did care about his daughter, and this was by far his maybe only redeeming quality. However, his ex had 100% moved on from him and was dating a different guy. This led to Bizzarobeard calling up his ex, both on breaks as well as on the job, and alternate between threatening to burn his ex's house down, or threatening to go after her parents, or maybe just shooting her dead in the streets. Yeah, he sounds like a real winner, doesn't he? Jesus Christ, man. Why has she not moved cities, filed for a restraining order, anything to get away from this, like, legit psychopath? Now, obviously, he says that he cares about his daughter because it's about the only redeeming thing that he has done in his life at all. Which really, it took him about 2 minutes to do it. He had no process. He had no part in this entire process. He just went off to prison after shooting a load, and he's like, yeah, I did this. It's like, no, you didn't, dude. And if you actually cared about the kid, you would realize that the mom is the one that's taking care of your freaking child. Leave your ex alone. Let her be happy. Therefore, let your child be happy. You freaking mental midget. Oh, God, I hate him. Point 5, Beard and his parole officer. Bizzarobeard also liked to complain about his parole officer. Oh, yeah. Make sure you don't take any responsibility for the fact as to, like, why you have a parole officer. Just blame the parole officer for existing. That'll fix it all. God damn it. He referred to her as a nasty word that starts with N, as well as a whole load of other nasty names. He tried to buy my urine off of me at least once, offering me $40 in cash. Apparently something that he did on a semi-regular basis around work, according to Bob, so that he could pass his weekly drug tests. I turned down the offer, something that he apparently did not let go of for at least a week. I mean, $40 is $40. I'd be a little bit tempted, honestly, but the thought of sending this beardo back to jail, that's far more priceless to me. How about this? I took a leak out by the dumpster. Why don't you go scoop it up off the floor? I think you can have it for free. How hard is it to not do drugs after you've been in prison for 5 years? You've been clean and sober for this long, just continue to do that. Or you just can't resist temptation. You gotta be hardcore and street, and nobody's really buying it. I say it again, absolutely pathetic. And then in point 6, we've got that beard homophobia that we've heard so much about. Well, Bizzarobeard was extremely homophobic, bragging about how he would stomp out, insert various nasty words that begin with F, on the yard every day. And he would even call one of our bosses related slurs behind his back. Oh, what a treasure. With how, like, aggressively opposed as he is, and also the fact that he's so scared of black people, seemingly, I'm gonna bet that he was somebody's girlfriend for 5 years. And even if it ain't true, it's funny. Makes me feel happy. So I'm just gonna believe that. When it came to me, he would often sexually threaten me when others weren't around, saying stuff like, have you ever made love to a man? Do you want to?
Now pick up the soap. Pray, baby, pray.
I told you, dude. He doesn't want to be the girlfriend anymore. He's like, let me be the boy for just a little bit. You don't have it in yourself to take it, do you, Bizzarobeard? Come at me. However, whenever I was cleaning kitchen knives or if Jax and Bob were around, he would not mutter any of those things in my presence. This went on for weeks, and I did not feel safe going to work. I was reluctant to go to HR for fear of retaliation from him. I also desperately fought the urge to just stab him more times than I can count, knowing that my previous charges would then be revisited if I was arrested again. This all honestly nearly mentally broke me, as I probably stuck too closely to the no snitching policy for my own good. Man, I'll snitch on you right now. I don't care. You know who the no snitching policy is good for? People who commit crimes and do the wrong thing. If you need to worry about no snitching, then guess what? You're probably not doing what you should be doing. So there will be repercussions. I don't care. I talked about reporting TikTok beard to the manager at a pizza place, and all he was really doing was like, you know, creeping around, laying hands on people, stuff like this. Never vocalized any threats, but it's enough for me to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna deal with this. No snitching is a load of trash. It's only touted by criminals. Go ahead, come at me. Deep down in your heart, you know I'm right. Point 7, OP finally finds a way out. In the end, with the encouragement of Nun and Shrink, bless them both wherever they are now, I put in my 2 weeks for that hotel, coincidentally running into the head chef of the kitchen, and when I told him why he was leaving, he looked like he was about ready to kill Bizzarobeard, calling his behavior completely unacceptable. By my shift a day later, Bizzarobeard was nowhere to be found, with the head chef even telling me himself that he, Bizzarobeard, no longer worked at the hotel. See, you could have gone to the head chef all along. You didn't have to feel uncomfortable at all. People want to help. Open communication is so important. But I can also understand why OP, didn't want to snitch considering where he's come from and stuff like that. But that is a habit to break as soon as possible, at least in my opinion. I'm sure some people will be like, oh, ReddX is a snitch. And I'm like, whatever. Don't give me a reason to snitch and I won't. It's your fault that I'm a snitch. How about that? In the end, I left that job after letting my 2 weeks run their course. I will say that cold Christmas dinner that I ate alone that year honestly tasted like a meal fit for a king, knowing that I was not only on the path to a better life, but that I had gotten the last laugh on Bizzarobeard. Oh, you better be careful. He's going to come back and burn your house down. Oh, no, wait. He's not going to do that because you're not responsible for his child. This... God, I hate him. Wherever he is now. I hope he's back in jail, honestly. He is just the lowest common denominator in every possible way. I will admit that for the remainder of my time in that region, I was looking over my shoulder quite a bit, frightened of retaliation from that beard. I also took grim satisfaction in the fact that the tale of him sexually harassing another male coworker spread around the workplace through the grapevine, and probably to social circles even outside of work, which of course probably came with social repercussions for him. Call me messed up, but I'm glad that I settled that issue on my own terms in that manner, even if I went about it in a sneaky manner. As you should have done, OP. This guy is the worst. He deserves nothing. No sympathy, nothing. I hope his life is completely miserable. And even though I say that, it won't have happened because I wished for it. It will have happened because this is what he's cultivated for himself. And so we get into the epilogue. I left the region a few months later to return to my hometown. People have short memories, thank God. And I moved back in with my folks to rebuild my life as a free man. And so you did. I love it. Shrink retired from being a therapist and is enjoying the Florida sunshine, last I heard. I hope he's enjoying his retirement. That man was one of the many people who helped me to save my own life. Last I heard, none got fired a year later for providing concert tickets to clients at Sober House, as well as driving them to said concert, and even unwittingly assisted in an escape attempt that a few clients tried to pull off. She has a good heart. I hope that she finds a way to continue to help people, just not at a place like Sober House. Yeah, I think she's a little too naive for her own good. She wants to see the best in people, and people don't always have the best to show you. Jax, Bob, Paul, and head chef still work at that hotel, last that I heard. I hope they're doing well, wherever each of them ended up. I saw Bizzarobeard once before I left the area forever, albeit I was passing in a car. He looked mighty pissed off at someone or something, aggressively walking in a manner that could only be described as hate waltzing to some unknown destination. Other than this, I have no idea where he is now, as it's been over half a decade since our paths crossed in that hotel kitchen. Well, suffice it to say, OP, I'm pretty sure he didn't go on to bigger and better things. He's still squandering his life, wallowing in his own misery, and I'm at least glad for that. I hope he went back to prison, but even if he didn't, he's not having a good time. I guarantee it. So let's be real. Seeing this dude again is highly unlikely because it's a big world. While a part of me does hope that he gets himself figured out, another part of me hopes that he pisses off the wrong person or persons with his colorful language, and that he ends up tied up and naked to a fence post on a cold winter night as an ice storm rolls through the region, in which he feels everything before freezing into a solid, bizarre-looking ice statue for all the locals to go and gawk at the next morning. With that, I hope that this hit of all too addictive cringe hit the spot for all of you, and that none of you, dear readers, overdosed. Again, happy holidays and a happy new year. I mean, he definitely is bizarre as hell. He's like this wannabe gangster that wants to be black so bad, but also he really doesn't like black people at all. It's like he has gay proclivities, but also he hates gay people. Dude is just so mixed up that I'm not even sure where to start. But what I do know is that he's full of hate, and that is never going to let you win in the end. The secret is to focus on creating a better life for yourself. Focus on positivity and how you can make strides towards becoming a better you. And it seems like Bizzarobeard was not interested in any of that at all. I don't think that he ever will be, to be quite honest. He's just so caught up in this negative feedback loop. I really don't think that he'll be able to escape it. Unfortunately, it does happen to a lot of people that, go through the system, end up in prison. My brother is one of them. But I do still hold out hope that he manages to break it. My brother, not Bizzarobeard. I don't give a shit about Bizzarobeard, honestly. Everybody else in the story, really, really likable. I hope Head Chef is having a good life. The shrink, the nun, wherever she is, naive as she may be. I hope Bizzarobeard's ex and even his daughter, she might be spawned from scum, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she is scum. It's not her fault where she came from, So I hope that all of them are out there making positive strides, improving their life for themselves. And I hope that you are as well, friends, honestly. Maybe this story offered some insight, motivation to help you do that. And really, that's one of the biggest reasons that I enjoy making these videos so much. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around if you think somebody else needs to hear a little message that is contained therein. I would definitely appreciate that. We've got all kinds of plugs in the description. Podcasts, rated on Spotify, playlists. There's all kinds of stuff. And, other plugs. Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch. Mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. If you're trying to get some of that counter-creeping cringe. It's a different type of cringe. It's still delicious. We also got my social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Come on through. Say hello. I would appreciate that. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them, or Foamy the Squirrel would like to thank them, as usual, Jerry much. So thank you.
Lakes, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Chow, Cinema Susie, Danny, Jerry Nerdnick, For Old Lang Sign, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayurari, the most different Jerry spelling, Jari the Pirate, Livingston Love Jerry, hey, so does ReddX, Rogue, Silent Revolver, the OG, Jerry, Becca, Jerish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Matthew Simmons, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, Naima Lady Nix is dancing, Jerry Bells. I see what you're doing there. A bundle of Jerry's is coming for your toes. Oh, my toe. A Jerry, a juggle of Jerry's, a Justy Jargonian Jerry. I know what that's referencing. I read that story in my Oblivion playthrough, I'm pretty sure. Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Atheist Jerry, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Blip Jerry, but Jerry, it's cold outside. Camille Sarah, Commander J, Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dragon Shade, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Grand Tom got ran over by a reindeer. Beard. Yeah, that's Mr. J. We got Gypsy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, just scratching, bro. A pimp named Jay Crisp. Yes, you gotta say the whole thing. J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry, Bowberry, Banana, Fana, Fairy, Fee, Mo, Mary, Jerry. Oh, that's a throwback. Jerry the Smoke, Jerry to the other Jerry's, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmitz. Hey, that's my name too. Jolly Black Jerry, Simbufa, because if you're boofing is free. KJW, Kachow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys. Ho! Jackus Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Carrot 797, God of Veggies, good for your eyes. Natari, Nightmare Jerry, oh no! Orgami Jerry Steve, Panda Prince Jerry Bamboo, Patron Saint of Chicken Nuggies, Saint Jerry, Ramen. Formerly Deltarune Jerry. I like the name change. The change up is good, keeps it fresh. Phantom of the Pines, Jerry Kids and Jerry Beth, Ramtide Lacrimates, which somebody told me means crying. I never see Ramtide cry, except that one time that I did, but we don't talk about that. Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Serrated Ash Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Teddy the Police, Tenta Monster, the One True Fusky, the Real Slim Jerry, please stand up. Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Treeberg, Vigilante Justice, Viking Jerry, oh, we found Marble Jerry, they were in the attic playing Minecraft with a Sega Genesis controller. What are you doing to me? What does the beard say? Will Mags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose says honk, Jerry Atrick. Naga Vipers, Cy Jerry the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, a normal Jerry. Merry Christmas, lovers of cringe. Well, Merry Cringemas to you. Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom. Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy Coon, Banished Knight, Babushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine Horseradish, the original different Jerry, that's Cake Jerry. California Jerry Girl, yeah, Canadian Lynx, Chevron 7 Locked, Chia, Jerry. I don't know why I said it like that. Chris Meska, Cinnamon Buddy Dog, Corporal Admiral, Lieutenant Private General, Tigerian Princess, Furry Warrior Woo Jerry. I did it! Crypt Titties! Cuban Jerry, Devlon Jerry, Dopamine Drought, Electrical Footic, Ghost of Alba, give him both inches! And so he did. HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry! Hey, how's your short game, Jerry? Hydra Jerry, I'm pretty sure Tom got the marble, Jerry, but you didn't hear it from me. Love, Terry. Was it you? Was it your alter ego? I see what's happening here. Jeffrey! My name is Jeffrey! Jerry and Tom versus Santa Werebeard Apocalypse. Jerry in a Subaru STI. Jerry Pinks! Misa Lucky, your name! Jerry Alder Rivera. You see that mustache though? Jerry Bean, yeah! Jerry Roxas, yay! Fucked it up. Jerry role-playing game. Judge Jerry and Executioner. King Tom, Smasher of Jerry Zillas. Kitsakin, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft. Maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you. One Leg Jerry hopping into a new year. Oh, it's gonna be a good year, I'll tell you that. Organic Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew, what a big surprise. Cringe so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet Jerry Pie. Sherlock Jerry Holmes to find Marble Jerry has arrived. I think he's too late though. He's in that attic playing Minecraft with Sega Genesis controller. Or maybe you're the one that found him. I'm not sure. I kind of missed out on the backstory here. We got Snary, the Snob Jerry, Spooky the Rock, Steve Bugelli, the Necro Jerry God, the original Jerry, not the most different Jerry, maybe to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, Aquarium Escapee, Zestaboo Jerry, Tom Promise Jerry swears all bad Jerry, the Tom be good boy to switch his face, soy size go look it up, and buy another ReddX video. I don't know what that name is, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce it, I guess. And also, thank you to my $1 patrons, beautiful people that they are, indeed.
Thank you guys all so much for killing it on the Patreon. It is the last few days coming down the pipeline, so if you want to get those last minute donations in, I would hugely appreciate it, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands! but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Yeah. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.